Hey, you know, making people defenseless does not make bad people harmless. Gun control laws only disarm. The law-abiding murder, rape, and assaults are already against the law. So do you really think a law that bans concealed carry will stop a criminal? Well, help us fight back and become a member of San Diego County Gun Owners today. We make activism easy, so join in. Go to SDCGO.org/join and sign up to be a member, because together we will win.
The San Diego Gun Show. It's coming up March 2nd and 3rd. It's right here in San Diego, right here in Mission Valley. I mean, right in the heart of San Diego.
Yeah.
You know, they used to say about the gun show, it was, 4 or 5 times a year where all of East County went to Del Mar.
Yes.
That's really what it was.
Yeah.
So you don't have to drive all the way to Del Mar anymore. We're saving you a good 15, 20 minutes.
Right.
It is right in the heart of San Diego, right in the center of Mission Valley at the Legacy Center.
Mm-hmm.
Both March 2nd and March 3rd. There is some cool stuff happening. You can get your tickets by going to gunownersradio.com early. Buy them right now. Saturday night, March 2nd, we're also going to have movie night. Second Amendment movie night with we actually aren't allowed to say the name of the movie over the radio because of the agreement. I don't understand it, but it's my favorite movie, the Wolverines movie. If you listen to the show at all, you'll know exactly what it is. But if you want more details on that, go to gunownersradio.com. Now, that's limited seating, so you're going to want to go buy those tickets like right now.
There's a theater ticket. I mean, you have to buy a separate ticket to see the movie?
2 separate tickets. If you want it, you can go see the movie, or you can go see the show. You can do both, but it's two separate tickets.
How much is the movie ticket?
I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know?
Hey, Rich, how much is the movie ticket?
Hey, Rich, how much is the movie ticket? What?
25,
How much?
$25.
You get popcorn?
No. Well, they sell food and drinks and all kinds of cool stuff. It's actually a really beautiful theater. It's where we showed
I
that
know, I
other
love
movie,
it.
remember?
Yeah.
So I think it's like limited to 400, and that is going to sell out. So
Does
buy
Alicia
movie
and I have to pay $25?
Well, yes. You guys have to pay 50.
How about if we go together?
Then it's
You
Then it's
smell
only-
that.
100.
No, you
Share
can-
a seat.
Then it's
that works
100.
for me.
So what you're going to want to see is you're going to want to go there. You're going to buy tickets. There's all kinds of stuff happening. Yes, there are guns. Yes, there's ammo. Yes, there are accessories. Yes, there's instructors. There's discounted instruction. All kinds of cool
You
stuff.
can have that simulator there?
Simulator from our buddy at Sure Shot. It is going to be a very cool gun show. It's going to be a very cool gun symposium. It's going to be a very cool Second Amendment movie night. Don't miss it. All kinds of cool stuff's happening. But then I just found this out. This is cool.
Uh-oh.
If you come to the gun show, we're going to have a raffle that is it's actually not me, California. It's provides funding for our women's program. A beautiful, beautiful guest of ours, member of ours named Russ. A lot of you know who Russ is. He's such a great guy. He is making this raffle possible, and I can't thank him enough. He's such a good dude. But what it's going to be is you're going to have the opportunity to win one of 10 California legal ARs. So the 10 ARs are going to be at the show.
He's donating 10 ARs?
He's making it possible for us to have 10 ARs, correct. So all 10 are going to be at the show. Different types, different kinds, all California legal. And what we're going to do is we're going to sell tickets at the show. And the cool thing is, okay, so if you win, then you get first choice of the 10. If you're the second winner, you get first choice
all
of whatever.
10 of them are going to get raffled off?
All 10.
Jeez.
So we're going to pick 10 winners. And the first winner gets their choice. Second winner gets choice of the next 9. Third
How much is
winner,
that ticket?
I haven't settled on a price yet. It's I
$5.
No, good Lord. For 10 ARs?
Oh, look, I think I just heard Russ fall out of his chair.
I think I'm settling on a screaming deal would be a $50 ticket.
No, I was going to say 100.
I know, right? I got to tell you.
If I say 100,
I know.
then you should stick with it.
$100, $200, would easily be justifiable, but I think we're going to do a $50 ticket. It's going to be unlimited, though.
How many tickets can you buy?
Well, as many as you want.
Oh, okay. But there's no limitation?
Well, at $50, I think we're going to go unlimited. If we were going to charge $100 or $200, then we might limit it. But I think we're going to go unlimited at $50 and just have a lot of fun. I think that'd be fun.
All right.
So that's what we're going to do. So we're going to have they'll all be on display there. You'll have your chance to win. This is to benefit Not Me
SD.
California. Nope, Not Me
Oh.
CA, 501c3.
And by the way, if you win, you cannot take the gun with you that night.
No, of course not. Well, that goes for any.
Well, but
exactly
sometimes you can hear the naysayers.
right. All local, state, and federal
Right.
laws apply. You
Got
have
to go
be,
through an FFLA.
Yeah, you have to be of age. You have to be not a prohibited person.
You have to be
go
cute.
through an FFL. By the way, the FFL that's helping us, Discount Gun Mart.
I know those guys.
Yeah, DGM is going to help facilitate the transfer and the 10 day.
Oh, then she's going to be Vanna White.
I
She
can
could
do
be.
that.
Could you be Vanna White?
I can do it.
Do you have a Vanna White dress?
I probably do.
I bet you do.
I hooked it up with, or I should say, JB hooked it up with me. JB and Will are going to process it, and I can't
Nice.
thank you guys enough at Discount Gun Mart. You guys are
Awesome.
awesome. Okay, so again, go to San Diego County. Go to Gun Owners Radio. Go to gunownersradio.com. Buy tickets. Come see a movie with us. So why should you do this? Well, it's going to be fun. I mean, the bottom line is this is going to be the coolest gun show I've ever been to in San Diego, to be frank. You're going to get all kinds of cool stuff. But honestly, guys, this is a huge step up from the last two gun shows that we did, and we want it to continue. We want this thing to be amazing. But in order for us to have more, we need this one to be extremely successful. So we need volunteers. You go to SanDiegoCountyGunOwners.com/volunteer. Then you can volunteer to help us. If you want to help sponsor this, there are plenty of sponsorship opportunities left. Go to gunownersradio.com and contact Rich, and he'll be able to help you there. But mostly we need people to buy tickets. Buy tickets to the show, but right now, buy tickets to the movie. It's extremely important. We have all kinds of stuff coming up in the show. We're going to talk to a couple of folks, which is very cool, but then I also want to talk about some things that happened locally. There was a press conference that involved the sheriff and some pro-gun and some anti-gun folks. I want to talk about that and give you details. There is there's all kinds of other stuff happening. Tuesday, County Board of Supervisors are going to vote on some pretty anti-gun regulations.
Are you going to be there?
I'm going to be there. We need folks to show up. But mostly we need you to go back and look at your email from Thursday and email the supervisor who we asked you to email. Her name's Monica. Mm-hmm. Monica, just forgot her last name. Monica Stepp. I forgot her last name. I'm getting old.
Isn't it your birthday?
It's my birthday.
And yeah, you can't remember?
I'm allowed to forget things on my birthday.
The mouse in the corner just yelled it out.
What did he yell? Monica Montgomery Stepp. Okay, so she's on the county board. She was on the city council for San Diego. What I need you to do is email her. Don't go on some big, long diatribe.
And don't be a butthead.
Don't be rude. I just need you to email her like it says in the email on Thursday and just say, hey, please vote against the anti-gun stuff on Tuesday. I mean, seriously, that simple.
Right.
And people want to know why. People are like, well, wait a minute. Why don't I pontificate and convince her about Second Amendment and how the history of the Second Amendment? She doesn't read this stuff.
No.
None of them read it. All they do, and all we need you to do, is we need the staffer who goes, hey, here's how many people are for it and here's how many people are against it. We need them to say, hey, we have 1,000 people that say don't vote for it.
And if you do pontificate, they may come after you.
No.
Yes, they will.
It's just that it doesn't do anything. It's not nobody. You're not convincing anybody. Like an email from a stranger, even if you're a constituent, doesn't matter.
Right.
They don't care.
But you do this early, right?
Do it right now. I'm asking you while on the show right now.
Okay.
Email Monica Stepp.
Right.
Monica, what's her name? Golly.
Montgomery Stepp.
Monica Montgomery Stepp. Email her. And Dave, don't get old, man. It's difficult.
Dude, don't
get
have to
old.
tell me. I don't remember your name.
Stay young and fresh like you are.
Yeah, right.
Monica Montgomery Stepp, email her and say, hey, please don't vote for the anti-gun stuff on Tuesday. Please vote against it. Right. Don't go. Who it is it's Tara Lawson-Raymer. I remember her three names. Tara Lawson-Raymer, she's the supervisor, and she's an absolute extremist anti-gun person. Disaster. And the other thing we're going to talk about is the voter guide today.
Yeah.
San Diego County Gun Owners, we released our voter guide, and we're going to be able to do something about Tara Lawson-Raymer if you guys help us out and pitch in, and we get rolling. But we're going to talk about the specifics of all that coming up in the show.
All right.
But again, so what's your homework? Already, the first 15 minutes of the show, Need you to do what? I need you to go buy a ticket to the Second Amendment movie, hopefully buy a ticket to the show/symposium on March 2nd and 3rd. Okay, so you go to Gun Owners Radio for that, gunownersradio.com. Need you to email Monica
Montgomery
Stepp. Monica Montgomery Stepp. Email her and say, vote against the stuff on Tuesday.
Done. I did it right here as you guys were talking.
There. It seriously, that's all I need. We just need numbers. Hey, don't vote for it. And you can find her email address on her website or on our email.
Got it right here.
There you go. So
Where's Rhett?
Yep, it's 4:15.
We're trying to get you to stop talking.
Well, I'm waiting for the music.
If you ever have legal matters that involve firearms, you need California's best firearms lawyer, and that means John Dillon. He can help you with red flag laws, gun registration, gun transportation, or maybe you just need to know that your guns are California compliant. John Dillon specializes in California gun laws, so put his number on your phone right now, 760-642-7150. That's John Dillon, California firearms lawyer, 760-642-7150.
All right, one of my favorite guests, my good buddy Dwight from Seal One, is on.
No, he's not there yet.
Is not on yet. He's going to come on and he's going to talk about how Seal One has generously sponsored the beer garden at the gun show. We're going to have a beer garden at the gun show, which there usually is. You remember going to the gun show at Del Mar? There's usually I don't know if they had a beer garden, but they had a beer section.
We didn't have a beer garden at the one
at the Del. Or
No, but the one
Del Mar.
No, they did not.
We didn't have beer at the last two.
No.
Yet it was BYOB.
Nobody told me that either.
You were walking around with a brown bag and.
No, I didn't. I didn't even have it. I didn't know.
Martinelli's.
So we're going to have beer this time?
Yeah. You're going to have a beer garden sponsored by Seal One.
How sweet.
It is cool. Like I said, this we want this event to be an event, and it's going to be. We just need everybody to show up, you know?
That's it.
We can't set the table and no one shows up for dinner. That won't be a very success. So.
Yeah, not at all.
So, yeah.
Yeah, that's going to be – I think it's going to be a great show. I really do.
So
and for the price of admission, $15.
$15 plus $5 for parking, and then you get a discount. So less than $20, and you get a day worth of entertainment.
And even $5 for parking. I mean, Ace must be flipping in their grave.
I mean, so where else can you do that in San Diego?
Watch us, because Ace is like $25, $30, $40 to go to an event.
Is it really?
You don't
Ridiculous.
park.
Yeah.
So, well, you know, what are you going to do, right?
I know.
But I'm looking forward. Are you going to be there both days?
Yep.
Are we going to broadcast from there?
No.
We're not going to broadcast.
But I'll be there Saturday. I won't be there Sunday.
You'll be there Saturday, but not Sunday?
Yeah.
What about you?
I'll be there both days.
Lovely Alicia, you're going to
I'll
be
be
there
there.
both days?
Well, you're going to do a symposium, aren't you?
No, not this year. No, I'll just be floating.
Didn't cut the mustard, huh?
No.
Well, you got to be
Probably not.
You got to be a Vanna White.
Well, we will have mustard there, just to let everybody know.
Were they hot dogs?
We're going to be hot dogs.
You're not going to have weird food, are you?
Just for Dave.
That's like everything for you.
No. Hot dogs.
Chicken. Well, we'll have
Hot dogs and chicken nuggets right up Dave's alley.
You know, I seen a thing on chicken nuggets. I may have to try this.
So let's talk about the voter guide. We have the voter guide out. San Diego County Gun Owners, we sent out our voter guide. If you go to our website, under the elections section, there is our voter guide. But we sent it out on Thursday, and we're pushing it out on our tabletops. We had a tabletop. We had a couple of tabletops over the weekend, but one in particular at American Shooters out in El Cajon, which is Mark Halcon's old place.
Yeah, doesn't he have a grand opening right around
That
the
was
corner?
last weekend. He had a grand opening, but it was not him. Of course, he passed away.
No, I know.
But his former employees, and it was his former place. They've been keeping that place alive, and now they had a grand reopening.
Right.
So congratulations. But we were passing out the voter guide there. Let's talk about the voter guide. A couple things about the voter guide. Number one is we emphasize local races, and there aren't a lot of local races that have a primary. So the primary is in March 5th, right after the gun show, that Tuesday. And there aren't a lot of local races that have primaries. So most of our endorsements are this thing's going to really blow up before November, but there is somebody for everyone in the county to vote for. Mm-hmm. And it's really important we get these folks through the primary. And what do I mean by that? Well, we did two things different this time. We endorsed people for the Republican Central Committee. And the Republican Central Committee is basically they're elected folks. You've seen them on your ballot before, and you probably didn't know what the heck they were. but they elect people a little bit different. It's 5 sections of the county. It's the county board districts. So, like Joel Anderson, Jim Desmond, Nora Vargas, like those 5 districts that are for the 5 county board, the supervisors. There are 9 people per district that get elected to the Republican Central Committee. And what do? Well, the big thing that the Central Committee does is they decide who gets endorsed. And they basically run the party. But their big decision is, hey, who gets endorsed by the Republican Party? So if you've looked at the Republican Party, if you've looked at elected officials for that are Republicans, and you've wondered, how did that person get the Republican nod? Well, it's because the Central Committee voted that person in, and this is your chance to help us make the Republican Central Committee pro-Second Amendment, which I would argue in the past, not their number one priority. I think that's the fairest way of putting it. I'm not going to say, yeah. So help us take over the Republican Party and make sure that they are pro-Second Amendment. So if you look, we've endorsed people for the Republican Central Committee in each of the 5 districts. So Dave, you're out in East County. You have people you got to vote for.
Who?
You are in. Well, let's take a look. What a great question. You're District 4.
Okay.
So the people you have to vote for: Laura Lothian. She's on the city council for La Mesa. Matt, who works for Joel Anderson. Man, he's a great guy. Amy Reichart, who we've endorsed before.
She's running again?
For Central Committee.
Okay.
Yeah, this is a totally different office. Christina Alicio, she was on the city council for La Mesa. Man, she is a rock-solid Second Amendment.
Didn't we have her on radio?
I think we had. She did. She was actually she was a board member for San Diego County Governors for a while. Yeah. She is a rock star. Bill Exeter, who's a great guy. So those are the folks that you're going to vote for when you show up. But then there's one more person you need to vote for in District 4, the County Board of Supervisors, Joel Anderson. You got to vote for that too.
Yeah,
right?
of course.
Is that right? Is that your district?
It'd be Alpine, 91901.
Oh, you're D2. That's Tracy, Steve Johnson, Frank Hilliker, Randy Burholtz. You're D2. Sorry, you're D2. You're District 2.
Okay.
And Joel Anderson.
Yeah, still Joel.
Yeah. So all those other folks are D4. Of course, District 4 used to be Nathan Fletcher. So there's people, by the way, there are political people listening to this show. They were like screaming at the radio, he's not D4, he's D2. Out in Alpine, you're D2.
Okay.
But some of the other names are, for example, District 5, which is up north. For example, Laura Bassett, who we endorsed for city council for Oceanside. Dane White, who's the mayor of Escondido. Matt Stockton, who's just a wonderful politico. John Franklin, the mayor of Vista. Jack Fernandez, great guy. Vote for Jack. They're running in District 5. So there's a lot of really great people. I'm really looking forward to, how great would it be if those were the names that were helping to run the Republican Party.
Right.
And then Melanie Burkholder, Darvin Walsh, Christine Scheffler, that's in District 3. Okay, so that's one big change. So that's only going to appear on the
Dwight's on the line.
Primary. Okay, we're gonna pick up Dwight in the next segment. We're almost done with the voter guide.
We're almost done.
Okay, so what we're gonna do too, how we've changed things is, San Diego County Gun Owners has never endorsed people who were state. So state senator, assembly. We don't endorse people on the state level. But what we wanted to do is we wanted to have a more complete voter guide. So we didn't want people to have to go to 2-3 different voter guides. Especially go to a voter guide where maybe we didn't agree with some of the other picks, right? We wanted to make sure that you didn't get confused and vote for the wrong person. But we didn't want to take the emphasis off local. We want you to be focused on these local city councils, local county board. So here's what we did. If you look at our voter guide, we included state candidates who are endorsed by other Second Amendment organizations. So if you're a state candidate, the way to get on the San Diego County Gun Owners voter guide is to get an endorsement by a state organization like CRPA, NRA, GOC, and an organization that is known and is rock solid as far as being a Second Amendment organization, and of course specializes in state level races. So what we did is we said, all right, those folks who are endorsed on the state level, we're going to put them on our voter guide. And so boom. So you have people to vote for. Assembly District 74 is Lori Davies. She's been a longtime friend. Assembly District 75 is interesting because there's actually 3 people endorsed. CRPA endorsed 3 people: Carl DeMaio, Andrew Hayes, and Jack Fernandez. So all 3 people, you're going to have to make your own decision, but because all 3 people are endorsed by CRPA in the 75th. And then the 76th is Christy Bruce Lane. And Christy Bruce Lane is an unapologetic and extremely vocal supporter of the Second Amendment. So there you go. You got your state, you got your local, you got your county. There's somebody for everyone to vote for, every single person in the county. So we need you to vote. We need you to get this voter guide in front of your friends and family and circle of influence, and we need you to get them to vote as well. If you can get somebody to vote who would not have voted otherwise, it's like getting 5 people to vote, because you're making that pie that much bigger. So everybody in your circle of influence, everybody you talk to, say, hey, do you vote? No? Okay, well, let me help you.
Hey, you want to learn to fly?
Yes.
Well, we'll get you a pilot's license.
All right.
San Diego is one of the best places to get your airplane pilot's license because pilots can fly almost every day.
Yeah.
Learn to fly with San Diego Flight Training International. Hey, all you gun owner radio listeners, you'll get 1 hour of ground school, 1 hour of flight with an instructor, and they'll give you the stick. That's a $400 value, but for you, you'll only pay $350. So give them a call, 858-569-1822. Learn to fly with SDFTI. Call 858-569-1822.
So the San Diego Gun Show is going to deliver an attendee experience like no other gun show. The symposium, the in-person classes, Second Amendment movie night, we have a blood drive, and more. Extremely important, extremely fun. But one of the cool features is we're going to have a beer garden where you can enjoy a fine beverage. And the sponsor of the beer garden is our buddy Dwight from Seal One. We all know Seal One. We all love Seal One. So we thought I'd have Dwight come on and talk about it. Dwight, you there?
Yes, I am. How are you?
Fantastic,
hey, bud, how you
man. Thank you so much for being a sponsor. It means a lot.
Well, it's for a great cause. I mean, it's the Second Amendment is, has always historically in the past 20 years from, our friends on the other side of the aisle there have always attacked it. And, now the last 3 or 4, it's been the First Amendment too. So, so let's get out and support our Second Amendment and First Amendment, correct?
Yeah, oh yeah, and I think you guys are going to be really impressed, Dwight. I think this is going to be the best gun show / symposium that we've ever seen in San Diego. I think it's going to be a lot of fun, and a lot of people are going to get a lot of value out of it.
Right.
You guys are always, Seal One's always so generous. You guys are always so good to everybody. You're such a good partner. You guys are so good to the Second Amendment community. So I wasn't surprised when you said, "Hey, I want to jump in and help." So, are you gonna be able to make it? Are you gonna be there?
Yes, I'll be there. This is actually because the last couple of years I've been out of town, previously engaged. So this year, when the dates were picked, it was like, "Hey, all right, I'm in town." So yes, I will be there the all weekend.
You gonna bartend?
I'm actually looking forward to it.
You gonna bartend?
Pardon?
Are you gonna bartend?
Yeah. No.
Hey, don't worry. We got Alicia.
Days are past.
We got Alicia. She'll do it.
We could have would there be a bunch of like frog themed specialty
Oh,
drinks?
we're having Bud Light.
Give him a Seal One sidecar.
I was gonna say Seal One, a Seal. You guys, we should probably make sure that they're serving Budweiser, right? Isn't that what you guys? The Seal insignia isn't
That's not Bud.
they call it the Budweiser,
Well,
don't they?
Is that the call Budweiser?
Yes, they do, because the resemblance of the eagle on our trident with the Budweiser's Eagle.
Ah,
that big honking insignia, that they wear that you only a very few are able to earn.
Right.
It kind of looks like the Budweiser insignia, so they jokingly and lovingly call it the Budweiser.
Yeah, and it's really funny because when the insignia was first drawn up, they were like, okay, we need to have something, and most. At that time, the guys they were, no, we don't want anything. We want to remain unknown as much as possible. Mm-hmm. But it was, no, you got to have this. So they had just the trident fork on there with the flintlock, and that was the original insignia. And then they were like, okay, we're going to make this gold for the officer, silver for the enlisted. But the men were saying, no, we're all the same. We all do the same thing. And so, back in those days, even when I went through in 79, it was, we called everybody by their first name, even our officers. And, once we got out to where you had to, what we called play the Navy game, you would address them as such. So then when the Navy said, hey, we want you to have an insignia, they said, all right, let's make something so big and gaudy that they won't take it. Well,
they took it.
Accepted. So
that'll show you guys.
But yes.
I always wondered, Dwight, when I grew up, I was a military brat, and I remember, the exchange on the Navy base, you could go buy uniform parts or whatever. Is there some kind of, how do you, if you have to get a new Budweiser or a new insignia, new SEAL insignia, is there some kind of security? You know what I mean? Do you have to prove it before you can order it, or can anybody buy one, but you better not wear it unless you're a SEAL? How does that work?
Yeah. No, anyone can go in, and it used to be just sold on the exchanges next to, our bases at Little Creek, Virginia, and here in Coronado. But now they're kind of a little bit more well-known or out, but anybody can go in and purchase it. One thing they do keep you from purchasing is just certain metals. No one can just go in and buy a medal.
Yeah.
So at least that's kind of protected.
Well, that makes a lot of sense. But you can buy clothes. I grew up swimming in the ocean in UDTs. Those the tan with the buckle. That was my swimsuit from age like 7 to about 13. I wore UDT swim trunks.
Nice.
Because I was a nerd.
Yeah, the most uncomfortable trunks out there.
But they laugh. I'll tell you, I couldn't ruin them. You know what I mean? When I was 8, 9 years old, I could ruin anything, Dwight. I couldn't ruin those. So
those things would last forever.
Yeah. So I again appreciate it so much that you guys are going to be a beer garden sponsor of the gun show. Like I said, I think you guys are going to really be impressed with what's going on. I'm hoping people. Of course, you're going to bring product, and we'll be able to display and talk about Seal One, so that anybody who has not yet tried Seal One to clean and lube their firearm, they'll be able to do it. Will people be able to purchase and maybe have some samples out there?
Yes, yeah, of course.
We can have Alicia. She can do the display.
I'll be cleaning guns. Hey, that can be my job. That's
and you like cleaning guns.
I do.
You just sit out there and clean guns?
I'll do it.
That with frog lube?
Whatever you want.
And then she's got to do, then she has to do Vanna White.
That would actually be kind of cool.
And then she has to
clean him in a white dress? Is that what we're doing?
Yep. I wonder if we can do that. And then to show that it's not toxic, we'll make Dave put it on his hot dog.
I'll eat it. I'll drink it.
I know you will. Good Lord.
Feel like those salesmen that would come to your
Probably
door with house cleaners and they drink it.
Well, it probably tastes better than those places he takes me.
You mean restaurants?
Yeah.
Like normal restaurants?
Goat eyes and stuff.
Well, that's cool, man. Dwight, I think you're going to be really impressed. I think you're going to like it. Are you going to join us for Second Amendment movie night?
I'm planning on it. Yeah, as a matter of fact, when they had Red Dawn on the TV the other day, I was like, I'm not going to watch it because I want to wait till it's on the big screen again.
There you go.
You know, it's been a few years since I've seen it.
Yeah, don't
and
say.
I haven't even looked at the remake.
Don't say it again. We'll have to shoot you.
Yeah, there's some kind of weird contractual thing we're not allowed to say. But that's all right. You said it. We didn't say it. You said it.
And guess what? We get to see Mike in jail.
I've never seen it. I was too young. I've never seen it on the big screen. I was too young. I was, it came out in 80.
Relive your youth in those UTD shorts on movie night.
There you go.
We thought about doing like a dress up, like dress up is your favorite.
Oh, that would be fun.
Character from the movie. That'd be kind of cool, right? But probably won't do that.
Yeah, probably not.
I don't think I can squeeze in any
I was
UTs
going to say,
these days.
see you in your khakis.
I think the Navy maxes out at a certain size, and I may have exceeded the recommended dosage there. So, oh well. I'm on my way back down.
You are.
Dwight, I can't tell you how excited I am. It's a special treat. It's my birthday today, so I'm so glad I got to talk to you and interview you on my birthday show because I just have so much respect for you.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. You do so much to help. Your company sponsors. You guys frequently at Gun Prom buy a table for veterans just so that veterans that maybe can't afford to go can go and have a good time. And you guys put your money where your mouth is. But not only that, but you come down to our shooting socials and you teach people how to shoot. I mean, it's just an amazing guy. I don't think you get enough credit and enough praise for how much you do. And I can't tell you how much I appreciate you, man.
Well, thank you. It's appreciated. The more people that we can get learning, it's all about the education. When you just talk to people. It was just the other day. It was in the car. It was in an Uber, and the lady was, "Oh no, these are bad." And it was like, I don't know. Do you ever see a car just get up and drive into somebody? No. Okay. Well, guns just don't pick themselves up and shoot people either. So it's all about education and learning. And when you see people that, it might not really be the first time. One person it was, they were like, yeah, I want to try this. And it's not as bad as they're thinking it is, So it's just all about education.
I agree, and we keep winning in court too. I mean, we're getting the right people elected, which is good. We're changing the narrative in the media. I believe that with CCWs, there's been we're watching a cultural shift, which is good. But I don't know if you saw it, Dwight, but you can buy ammo without a background check now.
Oh yes.
Do you see the news?
Yes. Oh yeah. I follow it. I'm following you guys. So
yeah, well, that was that wasn't our lawsuit. I don't want to take that was CRPA. They did a great job. It was the Rohde case. Rohde is Kim Rohde.
No, I mean, but you're putting as you put the word out once it's done. Which is what's great about you guys is because when something in our favor happens, the media is not going to put it out. So.
So true.
It takes, so it's you guys and then followers to help, spread the word. And as you're saying, the getting out to vote, getting people to vote, it's important.
There you go. Thank you, Dwight. Thank you for everything you do, my friend.
Yep. You're the best.
Thank you, Dwight.
Hey, Riverside and San Bernardino. Have you, even with the Bruin case, yeah, well, you can't say Montgomery.
Don't Bruin it.
And you can't say Montgomery.
I can't remember Montgomery.
You don't even remember the rest of it. The Bruin case, the gun grabbers are getting more desperate. Let's face it, all these laws disarm only the people that would use a gun to defend themselves. Fight back and do something to defend your Second Amendment right? You need to join Inland Empire gun owners right now. We're growing the 2A community and are getting more pro 2A officials elected. Membership is only $10 per month, and joining is super easy. Just go to iegunowners.com/join.
So there was a press conference. By the way, in the studio we have Adam from USCCA. How you doing, bud?
Good. Glad to be here.
Nice watch.
Thank you, sir. I know you got the same one.
So those
we talk.
I think So in order, we talk about guns, and then a close second is food, and then third is watches.
It's a very close second.
Watch is kind of a distant third, but that's because we talk about food so much.
Yeah.
But anyway, so for those who don't know, it's about a 2-year-old obsession with watches. This guy's he's the problem. He's the one that
it's your fault.
It's his fault.
It is my fault.
I'm not even joking. We were at a I don't know where we were at. We were at like a seminar.
Monthly meeting.
It was a monthly meeting.
Yeah.
And I looked over across the room, and he's wearing a watch. And I was like, "Dang, that looks really good."
Clear across the room.
Yeah, our eyes met
Before your glasses. Before your glasses. Right?
I was like, "Man, that watch looks great." And I kind of went over and admired it and everything. And then boom, like 12 watches later.
That's how it starts.
You know
It's
what?
really
You
gross.
know what's kind of funny is I blame you for this. I now get ads on Facebook for wooden watches.
Yes.
Now, why wood? I don't know. But
I do
wood.
too.
Are you getting that too?
Yeah, because of
All
this
right.
doorknob.
Jeez.
It's your fault, you birthday boy, you.
Okay, let's get to some business here. Anyway, welcome, Adam, from USCCA.
Thank you.
You guys are awesome. You've been a huge supporter for a while, and I'm so glad to have you in the studio. But here, I'm going to talk about, here it is. Here.
On Friday.
A press release went out. Where is it?
No dead air.
It's my first day
talking.
on the job. Anyway, here's what happened. There was a press release that went out that basically said that they were having a press conference on Friday, which they did, and there was a new bill that was being introduced regarding gun safety. Now, gun safety, anytime you say that, that is a red flag because the anti-gunners use the term gun safety to describe gun grabbing is really what they use it for. Mm-hmm. And Catherine Blakespear, who is an elected official, she's a state senator out of San Diego here, actually. I think she originated in one of the north coastal cities. Anyway, she's as anti-gun as they come. So to see her introducing some kind of bill made everybody nervous, right? And what it was the sheriff was involved. So I'm like, oh, wait, what's going on here? Because she's pro-Second Amendment. Blakespear's involved. She's anti-gun. What the heck's going on? And then Assembly person Lori Davies is involved. Well, wait a minute. She's pro-gun. It was very confusing. Like, what's going on? On the surface, it was like it was worrisome. So here's what happened. The sheriff, basically reached out to elected officials and said, hey, when somebody becomes a prohibited person means you can't own a gun. Well, more accurately, you can't possess a gun. If you become a felon for whatever reason, you're now a prohibited person and you can no longer possess your firearm. So something's got to happen. Like somebody's got to make sure that you don't actually possess that firearm. So the state of California, it was basically sending law enforcement to a prohibited person's door unannounced with no prior knowledge, saying, hey, we heard you're a prohibited person. We're going to come in and take your gun. Talk about dangerous.
Good way to get shot.
Any law enforcement who, hey, law enforcement, we want you to go to surprise a prohibited person and tell them you're taking their gun away. Completely irresponsible. So the sheriff said, hey, something's got to happen. My deputies are going to these doors. We're getting word from DOJ that says, hey, deputy, we need you to go to this door and get this person's gun because they're prohibited or whatever. They just need to check.
But how do they know he's got a gun?
Well, everybody's registered, right?
Oh, I see.
Yeah. So, and you're not telling them, so they're showing up. Now it's a confrontation. It's horrible government. So she said, hey, something's got to get done. Blakespear said, great, here's what we're going to do. We're going to pass a bill into law saying, hey, prohibited person, here's what's going to happen. Better communication. So the temptation is to go, wait. This person's anti-gun. Oh, my gosh. But I got to tell you, hats off to Blakespear for two reasons. One, she's finally listening to law enforcement rather than anti-gun, right? So we got a pro-Second Amendment law enforcement person saying, hey, we need help getting guns away from people who are prohibited. Okay, great. So she's, finally listening to the right side. She's finally going after people who
that need to have their gun taken away.
well, that are at least prohibited.
Right.
Right? I'm not prohibited. Why are you coming after my gun? So you're not doing that.
Right.
San Diego County gun owners, sane, trained, law-abiding gun owners. That's who we stand up for. So, okay, great. You're not going after sane, trained, law-abiding gun owners. You're going after people who are prohibited. Hats off to you there. But the other part is, my hats off to her, this is an administrative thing. Okay? So if we had a competent governor, all that would have to happen is he would say, hey, I'm the CEO of the state. California DOJ, send him a letter. That's all that needs to happen. But clearly Blakespeare, who's an ally of the governor, is so fed up with having an incompetent governor who can't do his job that she's gone, well, gee, I guess we need to pass a law to get him to do his job.
Whoa.
So congratulations. You're finally feeling the pain of this person you've supported, the governor, Governor Newsom, on how incompetent he is, and you're having to actually pass a law to get something administratively done. So the whole bill as it stands right now, they might gut it and amend it and change it and edit it.
Did he veto it?
He could veto it, yeah. He could.
I mean,
but the other thing is, one of the reasons we don't get too excited about a bill right out of the gate, this early in the year, 6 months from now, it could be completely different.
right.
8 months from now, it could be even different from that. But as it stands right now, it's a bill that's going to force the state to tell prohibited people, hey, here's what's going on. You have to, you can own firearms, but you can't possess them. I don't know if you knew that, by the way, but there's actually a Supreme Court
That
decision.
makes no sense.
Well, in 2015, there was a Supreme Court decision called Henderson, the Henderson decision, that said you can own it, but you just can't possess it. So it could be in someone else's possession, like you could own it and have an FFL, for example, have possession of it, or it could be in a trust, and then be, passed off to your kids. Like, say you have a firearms collection.
Oh, okay.
You know what I
'Cause
mean?
I was going to say, I don't see the point. That'd be like if I had a car, but I can't drive it.
Well, I think it's just kind of I think the big use, the big purpose is so that you can pass it off to your heirs. You maybe have kids that they're not 18 yet, so put it in a trust that you control or whatever. You can't possess this thing, but you put it somewhere so your
Isn't that
kids
a little
can.
bit of a stretch?
Well, it's it's the Supreme Court. I don't know.
Okay.
But the point is, they don't just go and rip your gun away from you. They go, hey, look, you have some options.
I mean, don't they give you the option of turning it in
Yes.
versus, a police officer and 5 of his best friends come to your house at 4 a.m.
Right. So one of the things you could do is turn it over. So you're a prohibited person. So on Monday, you get declared a prohibited person. Tuesday morning, you get that gun into the hands of an FFL. You still own it.
Yeah.
But the FFL possesses it.
Right.
And now you can sell it. You can get it to some family members. You can do whatever it takes.
Or when they do their buyback of guns, you can turn it in.
Yeah, you can do
Get
that.
like a $50
You get
gift card.
get a $50 gift certificate at Walmart. That's what I would do.
Right. Exactly.
Buy a lot of chicken nuggets with that.
But I don't think that's
Okay.
the angle. I don't think that's the way Blakespeare sees it.
You don't think so?
No. If you look at the press release and the presser and everything that happened, we're all about gun safety and blah, blah, blah. No, you're not. You're anti-gun. But you're doing something right here. You're finally doing something.
Maybe she doesn't realize it.
I'm positive she doesn't realize she's doing something right.
Yeah, and once she finds out,
But the fear here is you look at folks who have participated, like Assembly person Lori Davies, who's wonderful, and you look at our sheriff, who's absolutely wonderful, and you're like, wait a minute, are they doing some kind of anti-gun? No, they're not doing something anti-gun. An anti-gunner is solving a problem, and they are spinning it so their anti-gun base does something or thinks they're doing something right. Okay, one more thing I want to talk about before we hit 5 o'clock here, and I need everybody's help with this, and we just talked about it. On Tuesday, if everybody remembers last year, you remember last year we were talking about that they did that evaluation, that gun violence reduction, and they had a bunch of town halls, and we had people showing up, and we took over that whole thing, and we made it way better than it would have been, and we beat them up, figuratively. So they came out with 18 suggestions, and I can tell you about half of them were just fine. Half of them were like, hey, we want to fund anti-suicide, or suicide prevention measures, that sort of thing. One of them was kind of neutral, like they were going to fund gun locks, like you could go to the county and get a free gun lock. Who cares? Go ahead. That's not anti-gun.
Right.
I mean, it's kind of silly. I wonder, like, how many people are actually going to go do that? We should organize it. We should organize an effort. We should get like 800 people to just stand in line.
To get a gun lock.
I want my free gun lock. Just like bankrupt the county. No, we're not going to do that. So
Why not?
we'll talk about Adam. Let's talk about that later. Let's put together an effort off the some kind of Anyway,
Daisy chain them together and
So-
something fun.
so some of those measures are fine. If that's what you want to spend money on, helping people in a crisis,
that.
okay, great. But some of them create a bureaucracy that will be fighting against their anti-gun measures for decades. And they could have put and by the way, we won 6-8 months ago. They didn't pass it. We won the vote. Well, it's back. So because of Monica. Monica got elected. Monica Montgomery Stepp. I remembered it this time.
Whoa! I'm impressed.
And so what we're they had 6 months or whatever to pass the portion that wasn't anti-gun, but they chose not to do it. So we need you to show up on Tuesday, and we need you to email Monica Montgomery Stepp and tell her to vote against the stuff on Tuesday.
Cool.
So please do that. Look at your email on Thursday. We'll send it out again. Maybe we'll send it out again tomorrow. But please, please, please send her an email. 2 or 3 sentences. That's all it takes.
Hey, you want to help Orange County gun owners get the right people elected in Orange County? People that will stand up and protect your gun rights? Well, here's how you do it. You need to become a member. Go to ocgunowners.com/join. Now is the time to join the growing number of gun owners who care and want to protect our Second Amendment right. Go to ocgunowners.com/join and become a member today.
Yeah, Thursday, by the way, for those of you who get the Orange County Gun Owners email, we're going to release I'm pretty positive, I'm about 90% sure we'll be in time to release the Orange County Gun Owners Voter Guide. And just like the San Diego Guide, it'll be the first time ever that Orange County Gun Owners has endorsed Republican Central Committee members, so be on the lookout for that. Okay, winners, prizes, and events. Subscribe and win. Subscribe to our email list and win some swag. This week's winner is Scott Gould. Congratulations, Scott. Email prizes at gunownersradio.com to claim your T-shirt or your hat, and be sure to let us know what size. Again, San Diego Gun Show, March 2nd and 3rd. That's coming up. Tickets are on sale now. There's so much to do and see. We're going to talk all about it. In fact, we're going to talk to Adam here for the next couple of segments about a huge announcement involving USCCA that we're so proud of. So here's what I need you to do. We need you to do 3 things. We need you to get your ticket for Second Amendment movie night. That's number 1. And all you got to do is go to gunownersradio.com and click and buy. Boom, boom, boom. It'll take you all of about, 6 minutes?
Not even that.
It'd take you.
Might take Dave 6 minutes.
I was going to say it'd take you 2 minutes. It'd take me 6 minutes, and Dave Dave would have to call Alicia to get it done.
Call tech support, yeah.
Yeah, but we are going to show the number 1 Second Amendment movie of all time. The best. I got to tell you, it is the best documentary about World War III ever created. That's how I see it. So. I know, Adam. Adam, you're a fan, aren't you? You've seen it? Are you a fan?
Red Dawn, right?
Well, you're not allowed to say Red Dawn.
Smedshon.
You're not allowed to actually say the name
my
on the
bad.
radio. That's okay. Let's call it the Wolverine movie. You've seen
Say Wolverines.
Yeah, there you go. You've seen it, have you?
Of course.
Yeah,
Been a while, but yeah.
yeah. So are you going to watch it with us?
Yeah. Let's see
Hell
why
yeah.
not. We'll be there all weekend.
Good. Okay, go to gunownersradio.com. Buy as many movie tickets as you can. Those are limited, so you want to get on top of that. Sign up for an in-person class. That's the next thing we need you to do, because we're going to have classes there. But again, limited, so we want to make sure you do it. Sign up to donate blood. I think this is kind of cool. We want to do something good for the community. We already do so much for the community, but we want to do one more thing. We figure blood donation is a really good idea. We're going to have lots of vendors, and they're chipping in for a great goodie bag for donors. So if you do choose to donate blood, you're probably going to get a goodie bag as long as supplies last. So for tickets, go to gunownersradio.com/gun-show. gunownersradio.com/gun-show. Or if you just go to gunownersradio.com, there's like 8 pop-ups. You won't be able to miss it. I guarantee you. Rich does such a good job. So go and definitely do that. So
I have a special message I'd like to share.
please do.
So I had a special person reach out. The Penn Patriot himself, John Petrolino, messaged me, and
Love that guy.
he wanted to give his best wishes and wish you a happy birthday. On
Oh,
here.
gosh.
Tell them where to send the present.
That's it.
The Gabagoo Patriot.
That's it.
I'm such a fan. I have such a man crush on John Petrolino. I know he's listening. I hope I just embarrassed him.
You did.
He
and the whole room.
He and I just think the world of him. I think his book that he wrote is phenomenal. It's a great manual. I think if you're a firearms instructor, it is something that I could definitely see more firearms instructors just using his book as their manual. I think it's phenomenally good. Have you read his book, Adam?
No, I actually haven't yet.
There's no pop up. There's no colorings. It's all faction.
No crayons.
So it took me like 3 months to get through it, but but it's actually really, really great. And John Petrolino, the way he's just an excellent writer. And I thank you so much for the birthday wishes. That's super nice, John. Thank you. Okay, so let's talk a little bit more about the gun violence reduction plan. What exactly do we not like? There are pieces of the 18, and then we're going to talk about USCCA in the next segment, have a big announcement. But there are pieces of the 18 recommendations that, like I said, they set up a bureaucracy whose sole purpose is to figure out how to stop your right to keep and bear arms. I mean, I can't put it any clearer. Did you guys hear about, they did this gun violence reduction panel on a national level? Did you guys hear about that?
No.
Biden administration?
No.
So they did like this department for gun violence reduction, and right out of the gate, their very first recommendation was a ban on semi-automatic rifles. So, they feed us all this, oh, no, it's about gun safety. It's gun violence reduction. That's all. Why are you? How could you be against gun violence reduction? Because you're going to try to grab our guns every time. And that the first suggestion right out of the gate, I mean, it's like 9 a.m. their first day. By 9:02, their recommendation was, hey, let's take some guns away from some people.
Not even hiding it anymore.
They're not even hiding it anymore.
Well, they don't have to.
No.
They can break any law that's out there.
Of course.
They just and no repercussions.
No.
I mean, it's almost amazing the thing they pull.
Well, one of the things, I'm going to pat myself on the back real quick.
Can you reach?
So no. So I'll pat you on the back. You pat me.
Okay, we got it.
So one of the things, we've been arguing for years over semantics. Like, well, it's not an assault weapon. You can't call it an assault weapon. That's not really a term. Blah, 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 blah. That's all true. So you know what they did? I don't know if you've noticed, but recently in the last couple of years, they're just like, okay, well, fine, all semi-autos. We just want to ban all semi-autos.
Yeah, because they quit saying assault weapon.
They stopped saying assault weapon. They're just like semi-autos. Great, we'll just ban them all, which was their original plan. Yeah. But great, we got them to use the proper terms.
And now where are we?
And now they're banning us with the proper terms. I'm real happy about that. I was like, guys, forget about the semantics. We need to get to the heart of the matter here. And now they're just like, all right, cool, we'll use proper terms. Semi-autos. We want to ban all semi-autos. Which what I don't think they understand is, do you remember when they interviewed, he was like a general too, he was like a retired general, took him to the range, and he's like, okay, so this is a fully semi-automatic, right? Do you remember that?
Yeah.
I'm
Yep.
like, this guy's
He doesn't even know.
He doesn't even know.
Well, he never shot a gun.
Wow. Not since like boot camp, I'm assuming. But
that was an M1.
Not semi-auto.
It was this guy might have been a flintlock. He was pretty
and it definitely wasn't automatic.
So now I think a lot of people, they don't know what a semi-auto is. And we're kind of back to that. I remember back in the 90s, we were like, no, semi-auto means this, blah, blah, blah. And then we kind of, no, assault weapon's not a real industry term. No. Now we're back to teaching people what a semi-auto, what does that mean? Which they don't really care. They're just like, we don't care. We just want to ban it. I don't think they fully understand. If you were to ban, what would be your estimate, Adam? If you were to ban all semi-automatics, like if you went down to a range or a shop right now and you said, okay, every single gun in here that's semi-auto off the shelves.
All platforms, handgun, rifle?
Everything. If you were to ban
Shotgun?
every kind of semi-automatic, shotgun, pistol, rifle, what percentage would you think that would be?
Like mid-high 90s, probably.
Yeah.
So like, no. We're not trying to ban all guns. No, just like 90%.
Right.
Yeah.
We're not taking 100. Come on, give us a break.
It's 98.
Yeah.
And I'm not even sure. I wonder if they'd consider a revolver semi-automatic.
They'd find a way to try to categorize it that way.
That's ridiculous.
Because it has a hole at the end of the barrel.
So that same panel, that same type of thing, this gun violence reduction thing, they're mimicking that at the county. That's what they want to set up. So when I say, hey, look, guys, this bureaucracy they're setting up, we're going to be fighting against this. We're going to be fighting their policies for decades. for decades. Well, gee, Mike, what makes you say that? Well, I don't know, because they just did it federally, and they did exactly what I'm saying they're going to do. Their first recommendation was a gun grab, was a gun ban. So what I need you to do more than anything right now, email Monica Montgomery Stepp, County Board of Supervisors. Either go to our email that we sent out on Thursday, go to the County Board of Supervisors website, find her email address, and just say, "Hey, vote against the gun measures on Tuesday. Vote against it. Don't be anti-gun, please, please, please."
Hey, Not Me is for women, by women, and is designed to help women with training, purchasing a gun, and getting a concealed carry permit. And guess what? It's free. If you are a woman or you know a woman who needs help, have her sign up, and we will give her the help she needs. To sign up, just go to notmesd.org.
All right, big announcement. We've talked a lot about how the gun show is March 2nd and 3rd, and we're very, very proud of it. We're very happy to present our gun show. And our big announcement here, we've already kind of tipped our hand to show. We have a title sponsor, and we have Adam, who works for USCCA. USCCA has been a wonderful partner to San Diego County gun owners for years. All of you guys know Adam. If you've ever been to one of our meetings or our events, Adam is always there. Adam and USCCA have been extremely great supporters of San Diego County gun owners and Gun Owners Radio. Can't thank you guys enough, and you guys are stepping up big again. USCCA is the title sponsor of the San Diego Gun Show. Yay!
Yay!
Thank
Hey,
you
so
much.
so just for the heck of it,
Yes.
Adam, why don't you explain to the listeners what is USCCA?
Please do.
Sure.
Because they may not know.
Yeah, USCCA, United States Concealed Carry Association. So I work for Delta Defense. Delta Defense is the service provider to the United States Concealed Carry Association, USCCA. So I'm the San Diego representative of the USCCA here. But USCCA is a national organization. It's actually a national training organization, one of only 2 recognized in the country. About over 800,000 members now.
Wow.
The goal, is just that, training and education, just to get people better prepared to be able to defend themselves. And then also, back people if they're involved in a self-defense incident.
Well, I think the last portion, the first portion is very, very important, but I think the last portion is what people really need to understand.
Sure.
Because if you get into a situation, and don't tell me it'll never happen to me, because if it does,
You can't think like that.
no, and you don't have enough money to defend yourself. I don't care who you are.
Correct.
Because the legal aspect of it, they'll do everything humanly possible to clean you out for the rest of your life. And you're talking a very low monthly payment to be 100% protected. This is totally off for $60 a month or $100 a month, you have helicopter service. If you go to the desert, you know what a helicopter crash, a ride in a helicopter costs?
A lot.
I tell the off-road community, you have got to protect yourself. Insurance is everything.
Absolutely.
You just always want to be protected. And I wanted to bring that up.
Yeah, and USCCA, so if you're in a defensive gun, which I hear about all the time, you and I talk about, how many times have I texted you or sent you a message? I'm like, hey, I got another one who didn't have USCCA. We're gonna get them through and whatever, but man, get this person, so it doesn't happen again.
Well, and
it's
the one
scary.
When you and I have our conversations, or what I always think of, and I think of you, not because you have a nice watch, because I can't afford it, but when you see somebody on TV that gets into a gun situation,
Sure.
and then the media gets all over it, and then you never hear another word about it,
Yeah.
it's probably because they have USCCA.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Because if you don't have coverage and you don't have insurance, then they'll come after you like a lion.
Oh, yeah.
But if they know you have it, and I keep thinking about
yes.
that guy that was in church.
Yeah.
know?
What was the guy's name down in
Texas?
Texas.
Oh, Jack Wilson?
Yeah.
There was that guy.
Yeah.
You know he had, okay, maybe not your coverage necessarily, but he had coverage because it all went away.
Well, I think that's something, too, that, as far as the education part of it, too, you guys probably agree. A lot of people, even if they're going to get a gun. So the cool thing with USCCA, though, too, why it is self-defense liability insurance, it's also not just for firearms. It's for self-defense, period. Because, we do see stuff that happens that's not firearm related. So that's part of it, too. I've seen many actually locally here. We can get in. We don't have time to get into
those
all
cops
of
in
it.
New York could have used it.
A fist fight.
Yeah. I mean, really.
I'll tell you real quick. We're actually going to have this guy on the show in a little bit, so I can't give specifics. but just a situation 2 months ago or so, a guy was driving, got into a situation where some folks just decided to pick a fight with him. I mean, total strangers. And he's driving in a really nice neighborhood, a nice part of San Diego. It's not like he was in the whatever. He was in the ghetto or whatever. And they start messing with him. He thought he was being shot at. They threatened him. He's a CCW holder. He didn't actually point or shoot. The bad guys called the cops on him because because when they ran up to threaten him, he had his firearm out. I'm not going to go into all the details, but they called the cops first. By the way, lesson number one: be the one to call 911. Be the first one on 911. That's a big, huge lesson.
Yeah.
He had to spend thousands of dollars.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
For not. He didn't pull the trigger. Nope. He didn't actually even shoot anybody. He had a CCW. He did everything he was trained. It still costs thousands of dollars. Had he had USCCA, I'm confident to say they would have covered everything.
Absolutely. And didn't they take his gun?
They took his gun. He spent time in jail.
Right.
They took his gun. They tried to convict him. Everything was eventually dropped. He had to get an attorney. He got one of the best attorneys in the county. Great guy.
Had to pay for him.
The attorney, I'm confident to say, is the same attorney USCCA would have paid for because they've done it in the past.
As a matter of fact, I just talked to him this past week, and he picked up another case, as a matter of fact, here locally. Thankfully, this guy is a member, so he's being helped by USCCA on this one.
Wow.
But that was just last week, literally.
But this guy, his life was turned upside down for 2 months. He still got to recover. He still has to put some pieces back together. He never thought it would happen to him. He was not doing something stupid. He was not in a bad neighborhood.
Does that stay on his record?
I don't know. We're going to ask him.
That'd be a good question.
Yeah, we're going to have him. We're going to talk to him and ask him. I mean, I think, I don't know. But he wasn't convicted.
Yeah, but I'm just saying.
An arrest and a charge will still stick, even if you're found not.
Well, see, that's what I'm thinking.
Not guilty is not the same.
What do you think, Adam?
Well, I think I don't know about that to say. It's hard to say, depending on the attorneys. But I think to your point, though, too, people think that, it's never going to happen to me.
Oh.
But also, there's what I've seen. So I've been with USCCA now over 3 years, and I've seen there's a lot of people, even people that are getting a CCW though, that have in their mind that you're the good guy. That no matter what happens, I'm going to be good to go. Nothing's going to happen, and it's just not the case.
And they're going to be on my side if I have to prevent a
even if they
situation.
are. That journey to get there is not pleasant.
Yeah.
Time in jail, money, loss of work. Yep.
Well, the problem is our government doesn't think you as a good guy if you have a gun. Yeah, so you got to be protected.
But there's some cool things I like about USCCA. The number one cool thing I like about USCCA is, of course, Adam.
The other one's his shirt.
And I say that. He's a great guy, and he's a good friend. I like him a lot. But having somebody here on the ground in San Diego,
Right.
You know what I mean? You're not talking to somebody who is from the East Coast or whatever. Like Adam's here. He's a San Diegan. And having somebody here is big. That's really good customer service.
Is that kind of what USCCA does? Do they have people in every town?
Yeah, pretty much.
So, I mean, I'm sure it has to be a large town. It's not going to be like Alpine.
Not necessarily. I mean, we have, everywhere that USCCA can do business, most of the country. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
We have county executives like myself.
I think that's
most
so
places.
important. That
In
is
regions,
so important
absolutely.
that you could talk to a human being.
You cover like regions.
Yeah, more or less. Regions and districts. Like, I'm in Southern California. It's kind of how we're broken up. But
Hawaii.
all across
Did
the
you
country.
get Hawaii? That'd be
Technically, yeah. Hawaii doesn't really have much in the way of the.
Yeah, but you got to go over there once in a while and check, right?
Should probably do that.
Mike will go with you. He's a tour
You
guide.
need somebody, But a couple of things. Yeah, so that's one of the things I like about USCCA. One of the other things I like is, like me, they have a rich Wisconsin history. USCCA and I share that. We're both originally from Wisconsin.
Does he know anything about Newski's?
I'm sure they do. Oh, they're actually right down the street from Newski's. Where's that? Where are they headquartered?
So West Bend, Wisconsin. It's like 40 minutes or so north of Milwaukee.
You know what Newski's are?
I don't. Maybe.
Throw him out of the
Wait,
studio.
refresh me. Maybe.
Remember, we talk about food all the time.
Yeah.
The
Best
Newski's.
sausages.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, usually
Brats.
people bring up cheese curds. The first thing.
Now, what is it? What's the hot
Brats.
dogs? Yeah, what's that brat with the cheddar?
Yeah,
Beer
the
cheddar.
cheddar. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
The cheddar brats.
Yeah, he's bringing them in.
They're outside of Green Bay, but you can mail order. You can get a mail order.
I just bought a case for one of my advertisers.
Applewood smoked. Oh man,
I got him the variety pack of bacon.
Oh yeah.
I thought of you, but you don't have a house.
Yeah. So they have a rich Wisconsin. We just sold new skis. So
I told you they should be our advertiser.
There's two things you need to do when you're in Wisconsin: USCCA and new skis.
Oh, trust me.
Two great tasting.
And you can get them in town. They're actually at Cecil's,
Okay.
but I think it's just
Let's get back to
okay.
so.
We can keep talking about sausage if you want.
So
Bitters is noon. I'm starving.
but I also like the fact that USCCA. Correct me if I'm wrong. You guys started out as a publication, right?
Correct. Yeah.
Talk a little bit about the history.
So Tim Schmidt, who's the founder, CEO, literally started it with called Concealed Carry Magazine.
Yeah.
But like I think on his kitchen table,
Yeah.
pretty much. And now 20 years later, it's grown into what it is. And Concealed Carry Magazine is still a thing too.
Yeah.
It's
But it's
one of the-
online, or is it still
no,
a
it's you get it's one of the little benefits of the membership. Actually, you get the physical print magazine delivered to your house. I joke about that when I tell people about they're like magazine. I'm like, yeah, they make those still. You can get the previous editions online as well.
Yeah.
but that's how it started, pretty much.
Which so it's a bunch of gun folks who said, "Hey, you know what? I see a need." And that's what led to Delta Defense and the actual insurance piece, right?
Yeah, exactly what we were talking about. We saw these incidents and things of people defending themselves legally and lawfully, and then having to be put through the ringer, kind of like Alicia was saying, having to deal with all that. So that's what kind of came up. All right, we need to come up with something to help people that are in that kind of situation.
And now the other part is, so you started out as a publication, moved on to like the insurance piece. Which is awesome. But then now I'm seeing more and more where USCCA as a group are getting heavily involved in the political side too, which is good, right? I don't know how much you're allowed to talk about that. Right? You guys set up a PAC and
they have the
making sure
Foundation
that-
for Saving Lives is what it's called to combat some of that stuff. Like for example, trying to kind of be involved here in California. As we've seen with the SB2 stuff, the thing that came out back when we were talking, like I think December, that whole instructor thing that came out. So getting involved with some of that kind of stuff. But what I also like about USCCA and the way they do it, as opposed to say other organizations that are very political, it's it's a little bit different how they go about it with those kind of PACs and things like that to help with that.
It is, but what I want to get across to folks is this isn't just one thing. Like this is a group that is really truly dedicated to what you're doing. It's not they saw a need because they're part of the community.
Absolutely.
And they're supporting our gun show symposium because they really truly care about the community.
Well, they're a complete package.
They're a complete
Absolutely.
package. I've
I
always
think
been
that's the
very
way
impressed.
to explain it.
Yeah.
Yeah, even through our partnership program too. You guys, all the symposiums, all the instructors. We're partnered with almost every instructor range that's going to be there. So all that kind of stuff factors in too, just helping people be more trained.
A lot of companies waste an enormous amount of money on marketing. The design is excellent, the photos are beautiful, and your website looks great, but it's just not getting customers. Why? Because you don't have the words that make people buy. But now you can fix that with Sage Tree. Sage Tree can help you find the words that make it easy for your customers to understand what you do and how to buy from you. So stop wasting money today and schedule a call. Getting started is real easy. Visit sagetree.com, click on the Schedule an Appointment button. That's sagetree.com, and click on that Schedule a Call button.
We're talking to Adam from USCCA. USCCA is the title sponsor for the gun show, March 2nd and 3rd, of course, at the Legacy Center. March 2nd and 3rd, all day on Saturday and Sunday. Get tickets. All you do is go to gunownersradio.com. And again, a huge thank you to USCCA for being the title sponsor. You're going to have plenty of opportunities to learn about USCCA. If you're not familiar, they're going to be all over the gun show. Adam will be there. He's not hard to miss. All you do is look up. He's head and shoulders above everybody else in the crowd. He's a walking billboard. So go up and talk to him. He's a great guy. He's a gentleman and a scholar and a fine judge of watches. I should say that. Gentleman, a scholar, a fine judge of watch. Okay, so USCCA. Talk about what's their focus for 2024.
So one of the cool things actually that they sort of rolled out, kind of launching with SHOT Show, is kind of revamping the defensive handgun program, defensive pistol program, kind of revamping that, making that better. That's,
Like as an educational piece?
for training, and then for people to take classes then, new curriculums and things like that, so people can actually take defensive shooting courses. It's always a cool thing with USCCA, very modern, with teaching people actually how to defend themselves and everything.
Because there's actually a certificate. Instructors can get USCCA certified, right?
Yes, sir.
To teach different disciplines, different platforms.
Yeah, I mean, you have the main USCCA instructor certification, which opens up a whole bunch of, kind of plug and play curriculums and everything like that. Even to the degree of a lot of places in the country, USCCA is the standard curriculum for concealed carry.
I have to say, as an instructor, it's on the instructor side, it's very practical. It's fantastic training. So
Wow.
if you have an opportunity to work with an instructor with a USCCA certification, do it.
Are you
I've got several
of the USCCA certifications?
Yep.
You have AR-15, I think, too.
Correct.
Yeah. AR-15 is another whole curriculum where they, it's a cool course if you take the user course, too, because, they kind of break down, even the history of the AR-15 and then applying it more to defense, home defense, self-defense, all that kind of thing.
Close quarters, defensive use of an AR.
Nice. That's awesome. I think I saw that. Didn't you? You guys just did an AR class, didn't you?
Yeah, at discount, they run them frequently. Yep.
And
They're
what
just yesterday and today.
So one day class?
AR is a 2-day class.
2-day class.
AR's
AR.
2 days, yeah.
And what do you, I know before I took my first class, I've said many times, was a 4-day shotgun class. And I thought, what are you going to learn for 4 days about a shotgun? You don't know what you don't know. So you learn the history. What other kinds of, if you're fairly new to the AR platform, maybe you just bought it because it's, it's cool and you're an American and you're cool.
Right.
You bought an AR. Like what do you learn in the class, in the USCCA class, Alicia? What kind of things do you, the history and everything, but what else do you learn?
So you're going to learn all the parts of your AR. What are they? What are all those buttons? What are those levers? What do they do? How do they operate? The kind of just the function and the way that they operate and how they work and why. You're going to learn how to sight in your optic, whether you're using optic or iron sights. And then you're just going to do a whole lot of practical application. An AR has a safety selector. You're going to be on that safety selector. Now, if you have a California compliant with a fin, you're going to learn how to use that. You're going to learn how to use it well and fast and accurate and quick. It's a lot of what we call down ups, a lot of down, a lot of up. Safety. You learn how to run it. You learn how to get comfortable. You work, and we run ours from you're slung. So your AR is slung, which, slung and unsafe is the equivalent of having a handgun in a holster.
Yeah.
And so it's just, you learn how to do offset. If you've never sighted in a rifle and had to work with offset, you learn how to do that. Your offset is where you take into account your sight and distance and then your practical distance for what you're shooting now. You will aim at one point, you're going to hit another. You learn how to take them into account so that you can aim differently to offset to hit where you want.
90% of AR owners in San Diego need to take this class.
Absolutely.
And they haven't taken this class. Are you an AR guy? You got an AR?
Yeah,
Yep.
absolutely.
Yeah. What do you? Are you iron sights or optics? What do you got?
Red dot.
Red dot?
Yeah.
Is there a particular
Aim point. I like aim point.
Aim point?
I like the kind of indestructibleness of it.
Yeah.
If that's a word.
Yeah. It is
now.
I was one of those guys that was just like, I'm going iron sights, blah, 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 blah.
Mm-hmm.
But then my vision just went off a cliff, somewhere around 42, 41, 42, my vision just went off a cliff. And now I'm all about irons, or about red dots.
I still haven't honestly I haven't gotten into red dots with pistols quite yet. I'm still kind of iron sights with that. I haven't gotten into that yet.
Gun Amish, as John would say.
My Leupold or my Glock 19 now has that weirdo looking Leupold red dot on it.
Okay.
It's like a straw. It looks like a tunnel.
I actually like it. Yeah.
I like it too. I love it. I actually really love it. But it's kind of weird looking, But my Glock 30 is still old fashioned iron sights. But it's a 45. You don't have to aim with a 45. It's like a shotgun, Well, that's cool, man. Okay, so you guys teach instructors. So your big focus is on getting more people to learn defensive gun use.
Yeah, another cool thing too that we're talking about at the beginning of the year as well is I think doing a little more focus as well because sometimes people have kind of a misconception because USCCA, U.S. Concealed Carry Association, it's all concealed carry, and it's not. One of the big focuses too is home defense kind of stuff too. We're seeing that unfortunately more and more is events happening in people's homes. So kind of working on some of that. And, I think, some of the other cool curriculums and things like that, you actually will see at the gun show, I think, because most of the instructors that will be presenting are partnering with us already. So you'll see some of those courses, from the real estate stuff to the home defense and all the legal ramifications, all that kind of thing as well.
Do you have a cool story you can tell about somebody who was a member? I mean, you don't have to give specifics like names or whatever, but are you able to give like a situation like, hey, this person was involved in XYZ situation and they were covered, so therefore
I can give you
is there a good
without getting into too many details,
Sure.
I think, because we were talking earlier, that the self-defense liability insurance is not just guns or firearms. An incident happened in Mission Valley where we had a member go out for a walk and got into some altercation with a crazy homeless person who actually ended up getting a hold of his knife and stabbing him with his own knife. He was then arrested for whatever reason.
The homeless guy?
No.
Really? The victim.
The victim who was stabbed with his own knife was arrested.
Yeah, nice job, SDPD. Good job on that.
But yeah, that's a good example. His wife was able to get on the phone to USCCA, to Delta Defense in-house team. It's called the Critical Response Team. So they work 24/7, 365. So something happens, that's who you're calling. They're helping you through the whole thing. Was on the scene that night. Bailed out first of all, obviously.
Helped. So he got arrested. He got arrested. Wife called USCCA. Boom, bailed out. Hooked up with an attorney.
Correct. Hooked up with the attorney, and then pretty much what you want to happen, stopped it at the DA's desk. So it didn't progress any further than that. Got that case thrown out, no charges filed, and actually did what I heard from him as well. Got him back his CCW permit because they did suspend it or revoke it temporarily. I don't know, whatever that they do.
And he got you put him in touch with the attorney. Was it our favorite attorney? Or was
it is.
It's our favorite attorney.
Absolutely.
Okay. So he got in touch with our favorite attorney, who's just a freaking stud.
Awesome guy.
That's awesome. And all that was covered.
Absolutely.
And I got to tell you, I'm just kind of some napkin math that if this person didn't have USCCA in this situation, I'm going to guess 10, maybe $15,000.
You're in the
I think
ballpark.
that would be the retainer alone.
You're about in the ballpark.
Yeah. I mean, it got dismissed, so he didn't go to court.
No, thankfully.
And he got in court, it would have through the roof.
Still got to pay the attorney to do that, though.
Yeah.
But do they pretty much, when law enforcement finds out he's covered, do they change their whole demeanor?
I have heard of that with cases where not so much law enforcement, because I don't know that they really know.
No, maybe
or
not.
care,
I probably
but
should.
DAs and judges. I have heard that. I can't speak on that for sure.
Because they have to spend the money to prosecute.
Well, if they see, you're showing up with some backing and some help and a really good attorney.
Because the attorneys the
At a
USCCA
really
will send
good,
you
yeah,
are
and a
vetted.
really good company that does this a time or two.
Yeah, it makes them think twice about, do we really want to,
I'll tell you what I've noticed is it isn't so much that like the city or the DA or whatever. It's not that they're intimidated. They're not like, oh man, because they're not trying to, for the most part.
No, they just know they're not going anywhere
But
with
what
this.
I have seen is like, okay, this is a respected attorney. I know who this person is. This is someone I can have a conversation with. Let's sit down and figure this out.
I think they're scared.
But I think if you hire somebody's brother's cousin from out of town, if you get my cousin Vinny,
right?
And they're gonna be like, I don't know who this guy is. You're not gonna. Yeah,
I think DAs though too. I mean, and not that I can speak on it completely, but I mean, I think they tend to be a little like protective of their record in a way too.
Sure.
'Cause when you hear that kind of stuff, obviously, they got a 98% conviction rate and everything like that. Well, part of that is you're
being
only
choosy.
You're only taking the case that you're going to win.
It's like the outfielder with the Golden Glove. That
Right.
dude, he's not going to go jumping for ball. He's only catching the balls that he knows he can catch. He's not going to sacrifice his. That's a horrible example. That has nothing to do with Anyway, USCCA. Are you allowed to tell? Can we talk plans? Like how much are you allowed to talk? How much?
How much it costs a month?
How much does it cost to be?
Sure, for memberships. So we have three levels of membership with the USCCA. You got Gold, Platinum, Elite. Now you can choose to pay by the month or pay per year. If you pay for the year up front, it does make it a little cheaper. The prices go $29, $39, $49 a month, or $299, $399, $499 per year. So do the math. It saves like a couple months or so if you pay for the year. The difference in the memberships, though, is how much access to additional training resources. It's kind of a cool thing. So one of the things that I thought was cool when I got into it, because I was previously an instructor in RSO and things like that, and there was always a thing when people get out of a class, they're always kind of like, well, what do I do now? So USCCA developed what's called Protector Academy. It's designed to give people education and training resources they can use whenever they want. On your computer, on your phone with apps and things like that. You're watching professional courses on your phone. I like to point out, use the training app. You can go and watch drills and go practice the drills at the range. So things like that. Mm-hmm. And so that's the difference in the levels, basically. The insurance benefit of it is the same across any level of membership. The
You're
difference,
covered. No matter what, whatever of those levels,
correct,
same coverage,
correct.
Everything you just described, like you're getting into trouble, you're covered. The
correct.
same. It's just that there are other additional benefits.
Correct.
Good. Awesome. How do they find you?
Here locally, you can email me, adam.b as in Bravo at deltadefense.com, 619-663-4858 is my work phone. Get a hold of me through that. My info is also on San Diego County Gun Owners website, too.
And come to the gun show.
Yeah,
it's
absolutely. Come
easier
to the
if
gun
you
show.
just join USCCA. You don't even need to bother him.
Discount for San Diego County Gun Owners members as well. Give me a call.
Yeah, call him for the San Diego County Gun Owners discount.
It's cheaper than my house warranty. Serious.
And more useful.
Way more useful, because I don't think a refrigerator is going to cost me $15,000.
Yeah, no kid.
See, we're going to keep you around because you have a job, Adam.
All right.
Yeah,
So start studying.
You gotta read a question.
Yeah, and you're going to be talking to the sharpest kid in town. And
All right. So in fact, let's skip right into.
Don't do the commercial?
Let's skip right into it. Yeah, let's skip right into this. Okay. Let's skip right into it.
Skip into what?
Into the question.
We're done?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. So
I was looking forward to it.
Yeah. Okay. So every week our segment is what's our segment? It's Stump My Nephew. We found out years ago that Sam is my nephew. Actually, I've known that for years. I've known that since 1999. But what we found out about Sam is that Sam is extremely good at gun trivia. So every week, if you write in a question, you get and it makes it onto the air. You get a hat or a shirt. Boy, man, it's like my first day on the radio. I'm like stumbling all around. Yeah,
That's your birthday.
It's my birthday. Happy birthday. So if you write in and we use your question, you get a hat or a shirt. If you stump my nephew, you get something cool. And I think what we're going to give you if you stump my nephew is we're going to give you a couple hours at Sure Shot with my buddy Phil.
Nice.
Phil's a good dude. You know Phil.
Absolutely.
How cool is his facility?
That's awesome. Great guys, too.
Yeah.
It's a Philcility, I think.
Facility.
Because
It is a cool facility.
and because it's Sure Shot.
Yeah.
By
Sure
the shore.
Shots Philcility. He's going to be at the gun show.
Yeah, he's going to have his little simulator.
Yeah.
Yep.
Cool. Good dude. Super good dude. Okay. So, Sam, you there?
Yeah.
Oh, good to hear from you. My buddy Adam is going to ask the question. Adam from USCCA. Do you have USCCA yet?
No, and wait, there's going to be a question. I just called to wish you a happy birthday.
Aww.
Buttering me up.
Yeah, he
That's
buttering
nice.
you
I'm
up.
still going to make fun of you if you don't get the question right. Thank you so much. That's awesome of you to say. I appreciate it. I remember, you probably don't remember the day I was born, but I absolutely remember the day you were born. And your mom is the only person who remembers my birthday every single year of my whole life. My sister every year.
Well, wouldn't you think? Don't you remember hers?
No. No, I don't.
Why did I even
In
say
fact,
that? Why did I
In
even
fact,
do that?
more than 1 year, she'll get like a message on her answering machine on the wrong day. Hey, happy birthday! Just want to say happy birthday.
Well,
And
it's
she's just
somewhere
like,
in the month.
she's like, I wasn't born in September. Okay, all right.
so
Well,
bad.
keep that around for a month. All right. Anyway, okay. So, Sam, without further ado, Adam, go ahead. Read the question from Kevin in El Cajon.
Yeah, so Kevin in El Cajon says, why is it easy for collectors to find French World War II firearms in good condition?
Kevin from El Cajon, thanks for writing in. Why is it common for collectors to find French World War II firearms in good condition?
Because they dropped them all when they were running
I'm
away.
hoping this isn't the obvious joke because I think that's kind of overplayed. Like it was funny when I was in middle school, like the first couple times.
It still is.
What middle school did you go to that this was the joke floating around?
Don't worry.
It
about
wasn't a Montessori school or whatever they call it. Montessori school.
Montessori.
No, I went to public
Montessori.
school.
That had
I'm
to do
not
with
fancy.
chicken.
Rotisserie.
You're thinking rotisserie chicken?
I know. He's hungry.
All right, go ahead. I'm sorry. So, all right. So, why is it easy for collectors to find French World War II firearms in good condition?
I'm going to deliberately avoid the never fired, only dropped once joke. Okay, go ahead and laugh. Everyone get it out of your systems.
Well, That's I actually ruined it. I actually started down that road and then realized that's
the answer.
That's the answer we have written down.
But tell us what the real reason.
What were you going to say?
Well, I was going to say, first of all, I don't know where these collectors are finding French World War II firearms in good condition, because I haven't seen any at shows in my area. But I'm going to say that I'm going to disagree with the premise of the question, and I'm going to say it is not common for collectors in the United States to find French World War II firearms in good condition, because a lot of them were not imported in large numbers.
What is an example of a French firearm in from World War II?
Moss 36. That's a bolt action rifle. You can get them in the United States, but a lot of them were kept in, I want to say, police arsenals, but don't quote me on that. The one everyone wants is either the Moss 40 or the Moss 4956, both of which are semi-automatic, gas-operated battle rifles. They didn't make very many Moss 40s because they got invaded while they were trying to spin up large-scale production. And the 4956s, again, they kept them in France in large numbers. They fielded a few service pistols, but again, I don't think a lot of those. I mean, I know some were imported. We've gotten importations of everything in the U.S., but I don't think they ever came in really large batches like Lee Enfields or like Mausers did back in the day.
Well, about a month ago, 2 months ago, I was making fun of the French, like I do. I think it's
on a regular
important.
basis.
I think it's important to make fun of the French.
I totally agree.
I think it's interesting that like every country on the planet has a day where they celebrate beating the French in some war.
Yeah.
Like everyone.
Yeah.
Mexico has a day.
I think the French even has a day
where they beat themselves.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I'm going on and on about that. And Sam, what did you bring up? An interesting fact about war and the French.
Of course.
I brought up two things. First, that more Independence Days are from the British than any other colonial power. And second, the one you're looking for is that the French army in its various iterations has won more battles than any other in the world.
You hear that?
Wow.
So the French have won more battles than anybody else in the whole.
No, this is not win percentage. This is just number of battles won.
Yeah. I mean, there's plenty they lost.
That's true.
There's plenty they had to give up before they could even fight. But as far as numbers, I think it's mostly because why is that? It's because they spent so much time, traipsing all over the world trying to have a war with somebody.
There has been a France for a long time, first of all. Second, they were a colonial power, so they fought battles in Algeria, for example. Actually, Algeria was considered a part of France, not a colony. I find that interesting. But also under Napoleon, they fought a very large number of battles against basically everyone in Europe. That didn't end too well for them, though.
It's that little guy syndrome.
Napoleon blown
They're
apart.
always wanting to kick somebody's butt. You ever notice that? The little guys will come up after you all the time.
Yeah, I got this. I have a whole. I have like a Mike Schwartz, I don't know, like a theorem, or I don't know what to call it. But there's a principle. I call it the Jonathan Hayes principle.
Yeah.
There was this kid in school. I was a big kid, and Jonathan Hayes was a little kid.
Yeah.
And even though we were about the same age.
Yeah.
And he used to mess with me, and I'd have to just like let it go. And finally, I clean this kid's clock, and he starts crying. So guess who got all the sympathy?
Well, of you.
Right? That's the Jonathan Hayes principle. If whoever cries first,
they're
the ones that get
right.
the sympathy, which is very close to the whole, if you're in a defensive gun use, be the first one to call 911. That's basically the Jonathan Hayes principle,
I
right?
think very good.
Right? By the
Put
way,
that on the website.
That kid, Jonathan Hayes, grew up to be a staffer for a congressman out of Florida. Which explains so much, right?
It's the craziest thing.
For a Republican.
I know.
I don't know so what were we talking about? Anyway, Sam. All right, man. Well, cool. What else? Do you have a blog you want to promote?
Well, first things first, I guess I need to head to El Cajon because apparently if the question is to be believed, there's a large number of French surplus firearms in good condition there. Out here, all we get are, the FUDs at gun shows asking $600, no lowballers, I know what I've got for my Bubba Mosin or, what have you.
What would you buy? So if you could own one like vintage
French
military issue firearm, like one, like let's say is close to cherry perfect as you could, if you could own it tomorrow, what would you choose?
Does it have to be something that was adopted in large numbers, or can it be experimental?
Yeah, large numbers.
Yeah, they had to have issued it. Let's say that. It's a big
Can
question.
I keep the ones I already have?
Yeah. It's just like in addition.
Yeah, we're not coming to your house.
Yeah, and it's not like, well, I want this one because it's worth $1 million and I'll sell it for $1 million. Like what? So it's something you cherish and prize and would really like.
Krag Jorgensen in 6.5 Swede. I think only Denmark. Norway. I think
Does anybody know what that is?
No
Alicia?
idea.
I knew it'd be interesting.
Do you know what it is?
No, I have no idea.
No idea.
This kid's like an encyclopedia of guns. Why that one? Why do you like that one?
The Krag Jorgensen is reputed to have a very smooth action. I've handled one. I've never fired one, but the action is very smooth. It's also kind of interesting how the magazine system works. You can top it off from the side just by dumping loose rounds in while the bolt is still closed. And 6.5 by 55 Swedish is a very efficient round for its time.
Right.
Low recoiling compared to stuff like 30-06, 30-40, 8mm Mauser.
Good
There
answer.
is your birthday
There's,
present.
yeah, that's a great
Right
answer.
there.
No, good luck finding one.
No. I'm just
pretty much
saying.
Just the answer.
Knowledge.
No, just the knowledge and the answer, because you have no idea how many of us in this room are totally just baffled with
Flabbergasted.
your knowledge. It's just amazing, and you should
Well,
be
I know
very
what
proud of
you think.
yourself.
Yeah.
I know what you would pick.
Doggone right. Tell them.
M3 grease gun.
Yeah.
Grease gun.
I'm going to get one.
All right. Well, awesome job, Sam. I want to thank you so much for, as always, you did a great job. You nailed it. You even picked up that it was a jokey Smurf question, so that's awesome.
You got it.
But let's touch back. So if people want more information on USCCA, where should they go?
Thanks a lot, Sam.
Yeah, I mean, USCCA, USConcealedCarry.com, the main website. And like I said, last time, my information as well, get a hold of me directly for any questions like that. Like we talked about earlier, I'm here in San Diego. I'm your local person. Just get a hold of me.
Come to the gun show. They can
Absolutely.
meet you.
Come to the gun show, meet us, hang out and everything, and see everybody there.
Thanks for watching this episode from Gun Owners Radio. If you're watching mainstream media, you're not getting the truth about guns and the Second Amendment. Gun Owners Radio is the easiest way to stay on top of the Second Amendment fight, the fight for your self-defense rights. You can watch our live stream on YouTube every Sunday from 4 to 6 p.m. California time, or if you're in San Diego, AM 1170, FM 96.1, The Answer. We're also available on your favorite podcast platform. Just do a search for Gun Owners Radio and you'll find our show. Don't forget to support our sponsors. Click on the links in the show notes and support the businesses that support your Second Amendment rights. Like and subscribe to help defend and restore the Second Amendment, not just in California, but across the country.